This is the ZGOT Odyssey. I almost gave it a perfect score, but because of just one something, I really can't. Good day guys, this is Practiphile, and yeah, today we're gonna take a look at the ZGOT Odyssey here. Thank you so much ZGOT for sending this in for review. They didn't say anything on how to review this one here. All thoughts are my own. The ZGOT Odyssey is priced around in AliExpress you can find it for like around 190 bucks, 200. Most expensive is probably 224. So around 190 to 220 dollars, depending on where you get them. Maybe it's cheaper if it's secondhand. Linsol's selling it for 184 dollars. So yeah, it is in my 121 to 250 dollars category IM. So I'll be comparing this one here to these IMs. Man, that's a lot in here, and something has to go in here because I promised to myself I'd only have like 10 recommendations in each price bracket. There's already 10 in there. So the ZGOT Odyssey is a 1DD3BA hybrid. I know there's a lot of, ZGOT has been doing a lot of hybrids recently and a lot of collabs from different reviewers, although the faceplate is very similar to each other. Like I recently reviewed the Lush. The unboxing is pretty simple. It's probably about the same box, same tips, same cable, same carrying case. So nothing really to talk about that, but we have to talk about its sound. We have to talk about it. So yeah, objectively, the Odyssey graphs like that one over there. As you can see there, I'm overlaying my target. It's pretty much balanced with a meta kind of tuning. So it is sub bass over mid bass, a tuck around 200 hertz, and then there is this lift in like the mids from 300 to 1K, and then a cut around 1.5K, just the meta gain. If you know what the meta is, like the high senior Mega Fast or Mega 5 ESTs, the Slevo, probably the meta also, they're following that kind of curve. I see there, like at least in my unit, there is a very good treble extension. I didn't hear any peakiness of the overall tonality and of the overall treble. Bass is actually really good, like very tight. I like how the bass is presented here. The mids are a little in the warmer side. They have some natural timbre in there, but some people who are used to the old gain or like that 2 to 3K gain, they might find female vocals a little bit less energetic, if that makes sense, because that cut in there actually does it. Cymbals are also, not cymbals, snares in the drums and some guitars, they don't sound as energetic compared to other sets that have an abrupt gain in 2 to 3K. But what this does is, because it's a very relaxed gain, it scales well with volume. It scales well with volume. I mean, you can blast your volume and you don't really get a lot of peaks and shout and everything. My unit has a very good extended treble. As I've said, look at that, it follows my treble decline in there, or like a treble glide. I'm saying my unit because unfortunately there are, if I compare my unit or my measurement to other squiggers, it seems different. Like in my case, my unit has a more tame treble. I don't know if it's a good thing for you, but for me, this unit sounds really good. I actually like it like this. Some people might prefer it with more. Mike Bruce from Short Bus, he actually doesn't like the treble on these ones, and I don't know how his unit graphs, but for me, I actually like this. But we'll talk about that later. Let's move on to the scoring now. So if you want to know how I score IMs, check my video right here. So basically, my subjective findings on how I like this set, score them from 1 to 3. 1 being I hate it, and 3, I love it. So for the tonality, I think I'm gonna give the tonality a 2.5. I like how it sounds, but of course it doesn't really follow my target. And one reason why I'm giving the tonality 2.5 is also because of that, I would say QC, because what I'm saying might not apply to other people who have a different treble response. So although I like my tonality on the unit that I have, it might be different for people who have a more, a higher treble response, if that makes sense. Personally though, I like the tonality on this. I would give this a 3, but only because there is QC running around here with different sets measuring differently. I just give the tonality 2.5 on this one here. Bass, I actually like the bass response on here. They are not really boomy because again, the cut is around 200. So yeah, that's also my target in there. My target also has a cut around 200 to 300, so I just like it like that. It's well textured. I don't feel that it's bleeding into the mids. So for the bass, 3 on the bass. Mids, again, I explained the mids, they are on the warmer side, and I actually like the presentation. Again, female vocals might not be as energetic as I wanted it to be, but it is a different presentation, I would say. Personally though, I prefer female vocals to have that energy, but the Z-God Odyssey handles it pretty differently. Because of this kind of presentation, it almost has its own character and style when delivering female vocals. So although I do wish that guitars would have more edginess to it and more grit, is that an actual word? But I don't mind, really. I don't mind because I love the mids on this one here. So for the mids, I'm giving a 3. Treble, again, in my unit here. What do I do? Yeah, I don't know, because it's really the treble that's the difference. Like if I compare my graph to other squiggers, it's really the treble that has the big difference actually. So mine is actually a bit tamer compared to others. So I don't know if it's really just the coupler or how they graph sets, but I compared it to my like Tone Deaf Nongs. Our Defiant graph the same, but with the Odyssey, it's just different. Mine just has a tamer treble on graphs, but on listening, it's really not tamed. It's actually it's nice. It's well extended. I don't hear any peaks in there. It's even hard for me to get the 8K peak. I mean, like, it's almost non-existent. So I would say the treble is well extended on this one here, but again, because of that QC issue that I cannot, although personally I really like it, but maybe I'm just gonna give it, I'll give it 3. Okay, I'll just give it a 3 for the treble because I really like the treble in this. So treble 3. Now moving on to the technicalities. Again, the meta tuning has a different projection, I would say. Like it's both intimate but open at the same time. Instruments also sound natural. I didn't hear any peaks in there. I didn't feel that, you know, they were dull sounding, although again the timbre might be leaning on the warmer side, but I think the balance of the bass and the treble is good overall, and because of that it creates this kind of like atmosphere that is very relaxed and you can blast your volume. It just gives you in that space. Good 3D, actually there's very good 3D space on this one here. So for the technicalities, I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3. So, and that's a total of 14.5. That is actually S+ for me. It could have reached perfect score if it's not with the QC. So hopefully though, like Z-God, this is, you know, like I don't know what the intended tuning is for the Odyssey. I wish it was this one here. And I thought, like at first I was thinking like maybe mine is like a dud unit or like maybe a lemon unit, but if it's a dud unit, both channels would measure differently, right? But in my case, both left and right actually has very good channel balance, and I was looking for other reviewers or squiggers that measures the same as mine, and mine is just tamer. Actually, I found one, and that is Joy's Audio. Joy's review. Her Z-God Odyssey actually measures very close to mine. Look at that over there. You see? So I guess it's not only me. I guess there is this kind of tamed treble units running around, so I hope you get them. I don't know if you like treble, maybe you prefer the unit that has more treble, but really the difference is like 3 dB difference. Like for example, if I go to, let's say JTIS, right? So you see that like there's a different cut in there. Mine is tamer in the treble. I don't have the 8 key energy. Or let's start with Tone Deaf Monk too, because Tone Deaf Monk, again, our Defiant actually measures very close, like almost identical. But with the Odyssey, it's like that. You know what I mean? So there's really that gap in there, like 2 to 3 dB difference, and it may be making or breaking this set. I mean, you might like it. You may like the one with tamer treble, but for me personally though, even if on graphs mine already has tamer treble, it's already actually playing in that almost shouty territory, if that makes sense. So for me, my unit just strikes the perfect balance, and so for that, it's S+ for me. Yeah, S+ for me. So moving on to the comparisons here, what do I have for the comparisons? I have, of course, why wouldn't I compare it to the Lush? Z got Lush right there. So yeah, as you can see there, the Lush, it's almost like channel imbalance. You may see that the Lush has a lesser bass on graphs, but actually the Lush is warmer because of the overall tamer treble. If my Odyssey looks tame compared to other Odyssey, the Lush is much tamer. And so because it's tame in the treble, it gives more emphasis on the bass, and the Lush is actually warmer. It's just warmer for me. Personally though, I like the balance more on the Odyssey. It just, the treble and the bass just strikes a perfect balance. Lush is good, but I'd probably prefer the Odyssey. Although Lush is cheaper, but I'd probably pay extra just to get this kind of sound. So really up to you. If you want a warmer sound, then pick the Lush. If you want balanced signature, then the Odyssey might be for you. Another one here is the Slevo, because again, they are in this price category, right? The Slevo right there. The Slevo is actually an S ranker for me. It's one of the better sounding meta-tuned sets out there, but I feel like the Odyssey is just smoother overall. Like, I mean, even on graphs, you can see there that the Odyssey is much more presentable and it's actually much more smoother to listen to. It looks like the Slevo has a more bass, but on listening, actually the Odyssey has more texture in the bass. It's more engaging, if that makes sense. And the Slevo is actually a little bit brighter, and you can see that there are some treble peaks in there, and it's maybe because of that the Slevo sounds a little bit maybe edgy and grainy in the upper mids. Personally though, I'd still pick the Odyssey. I'd still pick the Odyssey versus the Slevo. Another one here, what else do I have here? Oh, how about the Mega 5P? Because the Mega 5P is one of like my reference balance sound. So right there. So as you can see, it's different in tonality, but you can kind of like guess where the emphasis is. They have a similar maybe amount of bass. You see that the Odyssey has a more forward mids. Vocals actually are more upfront with the Odyssey. But man, like this is hard. I actually prefer the sound of the Odyssey to compare to Mega 5P. It's just way smoother. So for me, if you want like, I don't know man, like probably, yeah, I mean you have to audition for the two. Like if you want, okay, if you want, how do I do this though? Like the Mega 5P is balanced, but it has a more tamer treble. Man, this is hard. This is hard. So if you want more natural vocals, probably go for the Mega 5P. If you want a better balance, then the Odyssey. But overall though, I'd still pick the Odyssey though. The Odyssey just sounds good. Another one would be a more expensive one. Actually, a more expensive one. It's not in this price range, but it is actually the High Senior Mega 5 EST. Look at that. Look at that there. It's like, what? You know what I mean? It's almost twice the price. And the Mega 5 ESTs, I liked it, but I think it's just an A+. Maybe because, again, it's the price. And there was something about the treble that, I don't know, maybe it's the armatures that they're using. It was a little bit grainy for me. And although I like the sound of the ESTs, but maybe the treble just didn't match with the ESTs, or the BAs that they were using didn't match with the ESTs. I don't know. This is just me. This is a bold claim though. Like compared to the two, I actually prefer the sound of the Odyssey compared to the Mega 5 EST. That's just me. It may be different for you, but I just find that the balance on the Odyssey is much better. I mean, I don't mind if it doesn't have ESTs. Odyssey for me. Odyssey for me. And another one here, it's another, what's this one? It's another new meta tuned IM. It's the Duno Brain Dance DK3301BD. Look at that over there. Also very similar, right? Look at that. Like the curve is really, really similar, but the difference is actually here in the upper mids and the treble, because the Brain Dance here, this peak around 15K, it's noticeable. It makes the treble a little bit glassy. For me personally though, I know a lot of reviewers didn't like it because of like its glassy timbre. I didn't mind it. For me, it was kind of like its character, and that's why it's called Brain Dance. But just like dollar to performance ratio, I'd probably still pick the Odyssey because of its overall balance and value. So yeah, I guess that's it, man. Like if leave a comment down below if you want me to compare it to other sets that I didn't include here. I didn't find the need to compare it to all of the stuff in here because they don't graph the same and the tonality is a little bit different. I was comparing it more into like the new meta tuned IEMs and hybrids. But which do I remove here? I'd probably remove the Nova. So Nova will be replaced by Zigot. So bye Nova, Zigot Odyssey. You got the spot here in my $121 to $250 category. So I think that's it for today, man. Like Zigot Odyssey, I mean Zigot, don't take this personally. Like I know, QC, it's plaguing any industry, you know, like especially chi-fi. And it's not, I think it's only not chi-fi. Like I've seen a lot of like graphs that are more expensive, and you know they graph really wacky and stuff like that. But I just wish that if Zigot really improves their QC, and you know it shows the company's dedication to what they really want the consumers to listen to. I don't know, like I really wish like with the future sets the Odyssey would graph like mine and with what Joy's review has, because I really think the balance on this one here is pretty great. So thank you so much again, Zigot, for sending this in. Thank you so much, guys, for watching my video. Zigot Odyssey, definitely, I like this set. I like this set. Can't say much about it. Have a great day, and see you next time. Bye for now.